Hey, amazing beings. Hello. How are you being today? Well, welcome to Free and Clear Fridays. Fridays, that was interesting. Free days with me, Dr. Sarah. And I decided to jump on right now because I had the space and the time to do it in a way that was available in a way I didn't expect it. So why not do it now? Why not just go with what's light and what's ease and by choice? And that's what I love about living consciously. You know, it is about being it not only in the moment, but also in the space of creation and choice all the time. So you can check in with, oh, that's not working for me. I'm going to choose something else. Or, oh, wow, this showed up outside here. Now, how would I like to handle it? And these kind of things can come in all the time. And what would it be like if you no longer had to go into limitation with that? So, anything that won't allow you to be in the space of whatever shows up and then be in the choice of that, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good or bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Why not do a clearing right up the gate? So I'm so grateful to see you. Hi, everyone. And if it's now in this moment or in the future, welcome to the Free and Clear Fridays. And yeah, TGIF, how's your week been? How's your moment in this current moment? Sometimes we need to just take a moment and check in and ask. You know, I aim to do that all the time, but we're not encouraged to do that all the time. You know, there's this kind of saying like you need to take care of yourself and do self-care, and like it's almost like a destination. So what if it doesn't have to be a destination? What if it's just a space that you can check in with, to create from and to ask from and to clear from in any given moment you choose? So anything that won't allow you to show up in you and be you in the moment, to create a space with more ease, which is really the old school self-care, where you destroy and uncreate anything and everything that won't allow that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, poc, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. Now, if you're new to this, if you're just joining this show for the first time, this clearing statement, this amazing little tool, is a tool from the tools of Access Consciousness. So I am going to include a link in this IGTV, which is where this will land, that will allow you to read about the clearing statement on my website. Now, you may have to copy and paste, or you can find it in my bio on Linktree. You just go there, you get to the website, find the clearing statement, and you can read about it. So that's ways to find it. Now, there's this interesting difference between two different spaces of being when it comes to validating someone or acknowledging someone. And it's a conversation that I have heard recently, but also resonate with, in that there is a difference between validating someone and also actually acknowledging. When we do validation, it can actually be a limitation. When we validate, we're concluding something about someone else, and it can actually come across as a judgment, a limitation, or a conclusion, rather than acknowledging someone for what they're being, what they're creating, what they are in your space of you and your point of view. So I suppose the difference of validation would be, I really like this about you. I really like that about you. It could be something where it's like, you're so kind, or you're so this. It can be like in a space where it's like, oh, this is just how it is, rather than in an acknowledgement, it'd be more like, wow, I notice what a gift you are and how kind you are. And I just want to acknowledge you for that, that I see you and I'm aware of that for you. And it really brings me a lot of joy and from that space that you're being. So it's not so much just the words, it's the energy, it's the way the words are shared, it's the context, it's your, the validation would be where it's, this is how I see it done, and the acknowledgement is more of a conscious space of what is. So everywhere you've been doing validation versus acknowledgement, or not doing acknowledgement, or everywhere you've confused the two, let's destroy it and create it all. It's even confusing to talk about. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. But have you ever had someone validate you for something and then you're like, oh, something is off about it. Like, it's nice that they're being nice to me. Maybe it is. It's the idea of nice. And it has a little bit of a heavy leftover feel to it, or like it really doesn't match what you're being, but you can tell that's that person's point of view of you. So everything that is, anywhere you've experienced that, like almost like a positive judgment of sorts, let's destroy and create all that. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And it's not to make it significant, but it's really important just to acknowledge the difference, right? Like it's something that we tend to overlook. A lot of language when we're living consciously, it doesn't mean you have to go around and be conscious speak or, have to say it all the right way. But when you're being the energy of consciousness and living consciously, there is this like natural, at least I know because I'm choosing it, resonance of the energy of the words you speak. And you're going to also notice when people aren't speaking it in terms of not the literal words, but how they say things. So with all that being said, everywhere that you thought it was you, in terms of not being able to receive a compliment or being validated for something when it really kind of read heavy, but then you thought, I'm not grateful for whatever that is or whatever the energy is. Let's destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And everywhere that you haven't acknowledged yourself, all right, rather than and trying to validate you by doing the right things. If I only did this, then I could be this, or I'm not good enough at that because I am doing something wrong with it. Those are like validation and being invalidated. So both sides of the coin are very heavy. So everything that is, right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Where acknowledgement can also be something that could be from a space of kindness. And it's also sometimes could be a little intense, like acknowledging someone for something that's going on can also be where something is off. Like I'm acknowledging that this person is showing up to me in a really negative way. And it's not just about expressing acknowledgement, it's about acknowledging acknowledgement. So everything that is, right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Wow, this is kind of a deep topic, and I'm noticing it as I'm just following this energy with you and going here with you, that, wow, some of it's probably even challenging to hear, because a lot of times you won't even hear the words, in part because it's so relevant. I will validate that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm acknowledging that. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So everything this brings up, destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. All right, so let's check in. Let's check in with what I like to do about this time. Well, I tend to do it all throughout each Free and Clear Friday, but I'm going to do it now with you and check in with something that, let's go with what's been heavy for you this week. What have you noticed? Something that's been off? Is it something you've been picking up on in the world? Is it something that's immediate in your world? A relationship? relationship with other, relationship with money. What other things do we have relationships with? Food, earth, society. So anything that's been heavy for you in any area, relationship to others, relationship to you, anything in particular, tune in to one thing right now. And just let's acknowledge it, okay? Let's acknowledge it. And now let's clear it. So everything that's been heavy with this particular thing, let's now destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So, with this idea of clearing, when we clear, we create a space. When we create a space, there's more room for choice to come through. Like asking a question, then what are my choices here? Or a space of consciousness that you can actually access now. So that's what we're doing here. We're clearing a space in our mind, because our mind is where our limitation is. So we can actually have a space of awareness, knowing, which is outside the mind. So we're clearing the mind so we don't actually have to use the mind. It's a terrible thing. We were meant to waste it. So we just can have room to be our own being, room to see other things clearly, to get an accurate read on things. Because if our own thought, feelings, and emotions and or anything we're picking up gets in the way of getting a clear read on a situation, you're not going to be able to see it clearly. You're going to be stuck in the conclusion. Just like we were talking about validation. Validation is a conclusion. I validate this. It's like a stamp. Now it's in writing. It's like concluded. It is now done. In it will do you in. So everywhere you're validating and invalidating, rather than just acknowledging and choosing something different, if you choose, especially if it's heavy, destroy and uncreate all of that. Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Isn't it fascinating? And I probably say this quite a bit on the show. I mean, honestly, because it always boggles me in a yummy sort of way. That these things are all connected in some way. And I love tying them in and pulling them in and being able to show like how one is connected to the next. And that's really the truth about living consciously. There is no separation. There is no conclusion. There is no having to, well, this is it and that's that. It's more of like, oh, this is this. Now, is that working for me? Is that light or heavy? And if it's heavy, I'm going to clear it and then choose something else. Because I am not going to go into the problem to solve the problem, to fix the problem, in order to create something else. That's almost like the definition of insanity. Going to the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is really the same thing as turning to the problem for the solution when it's the problem. So everything that is, everywhere you're doing that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pon poc, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. And what else is possible? That, possibilities. Instead of going to problem, you go to possibilities. So anywhere you haven't been willing to look at the possibilities and be present with the possibilities, let's destroy and create all that now, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, pon poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Wow. So what are you noticing now? It's interesting. I had briefly jumped on a live. It was like a 10-minute. Originally, I had it scheduled with Amazing Being, Andrea Beluso. And I since will be jumping on a live soon. We had scheduled the live. There must have been some kind of misconnection along the way or something where like we're 6 hours difference to begin with. I'm here in Detroit, Michigan area. And he is in Sweden, Stockholm area. So it's like a 6 hour difference. And I was on that live because he was a guest on, one reason we were connecting is he's a guest on the podcast, the Dr. Sarah podcast show that aired this week. And I'm so excited. The interview with him, the conversation, it wasn't even an interview, it was a conversation. It was just so just a beyond and beautiful in many ways. And I'm sure he and I will be talking about that soon again. But I did share on there that the podcast show has come to completion for season 1. So 11 episodes are available that you guys can check out. You can find the link in my bio. Yeah, all that information was to lead to that. It's so funny because I already put it out there in one context in case you heard it already. That's kind of my little disclaimer. And so the podcast season has come to completion, and it's exciting because you can still watch the episodes or you can also listen to the episodes. So there's so much yummy information about amazing beings on there that I'm just so grateful for each of them and what they're being in the world. So you can definitely check that out and see what that's like for you. So again, you can find that in my bio. It's under my link tree. You can go on there. It's on the website podcast. So you can check it out and see what you notice. And also, just in case you didn't know, I do have a newsletter that you're welcome to sign up for, that you can get all the latest, greatest of the week coming up of what's going to be going on with the Dr. Sarah Experience stuff. Check out what that is. It comes in on Mondays, and would love for you to be a part of it. So you can also check that out in my bio, but I'm also going to include it here as a link. I know, like, it's weird with Instagram. You can't click on the link in the comments, but if nothing else, you could always copy it down. Or again, you can find it in my bio, just as a little reminder to know those are available. You'll see those in the comments. So anyway, now, real quick before we end, I want to circle back to, I know we cleared anything that was heavy for you this week. If it's still heavy for you, keep clearing it until it lightens up. Just use the Pod POC, or deep breath in, release it all on the exhale. That other great clearing tool, Return to Sender, is another wonderful one for all the things that you're picking up on other people. So be sure to do that as well to make sure you're not in other people's energy that's not yours. So anyway, let's check in real quickly now with something that has been light for you this week. What has been light for you this week? Something come to fruition in a light way, new discoveries. It could be a small thing. It could just be something you're grateful for. Yeah, let's tune into that now. And let's acknowledge that. Fantastic. So anything that won't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive all of that with total ease, let's destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. You see, we acknowledged it. We're not validating it. Pom pock all the validation and be in the acknowledgement. When we acknowledge something, then we're more likely to be able to create more, because when we acknowledge something we did create, we can actually allow it to be, and we don't have to recreate it until we acknowledge it, because that's a lot of times what we do, is go back over and over and over things, not even realizing we did it already. So by acknowledging it and showing lightness and gratitude for it, yes. So be with that and be in the ease of that this weekend. Go forth and enjoy, okay? Joy is a choice. It is a state of being. And what would bring you joy? Anything that will allow that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. All right, amazing beings. I adore you. And I want you to have an amazing week. And know that I have your back. Please check out all my stuff. You know I'm with you throughout the week. And I love your comments. I love when you share whatever it is that shows up for you. And I'm happy to contribute in ways. And I like to do it in the public forum so that other people and beings can actually receive it too. Okay? So have an amazing week. And you know, we go from problems to possibilities like no other. So anything that will allow that, let's just clear that one more time. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. Okay. I will talk to you next week. And know I have your back. All right. Take care for now.